Have you ever thought about taking TRT? Has it ever crossed your mind? Testosterone replacement therapy? Because this is huge at the moment online. Every time I open Facebook or Instagram, there's always something that pops up about TRT. And there's loads of companies at the moment. There's loads of people investing into it. There's business coaches who are investing into this and then are they promoting it on their sites now, which all of these things wave a red flag to me. And I'm going to tell you why TRT does wave a red flag, because hormones are something I study a lot, really interested in the subject, and what's not getting explained is how testosterone levels could be low. And I'm going to tell you in a quick analogy of how testosterone works and how you can think about it before you then go and jumping on the bandwagon of buying TRT or be manipulated into thinking that's the missing link to low energy, motivation, drive, maybe why you're holding on extra body fat. All of these things what they're saying that TRT fixes. TRT isn't a magic solution. TRT is a synthetic drug. That is kind of what it is. It's almost like when I was in my 20s, all the young lads were on steroids. Now I'm in my 40s, all the guys are on TRT. It's crazy. Quick analogy on testosterone. So there's two reasons why testosterone could be low. The first one's primary hypergonadism, and the second one is secondary hypergonadism. Think about it this way. Your gonads are the factory that produces testosterone. Now, if your factory isn't producing testosterone, this is what's known as primary hypergonadism. Therefore, TRT is going to be the solution to help in that process because your body just isn't producing it, or your factory isn't producing it. Now, the second one is basically your factory is absolutely fine. It's producing all the goods. The problem is your brain isn't sending the right messages to the factory to release it into the system. So these two hormones, luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone, FSH, these are sent by the brain down to the gonads to release testosterone. Now, if these messages aren't being sent, or they're very, very low frequency, then you are not going to produce enough testosterone in your body. So what that tells me is, the first one is basically your factory isn't producing testosterone, therefore TRT is probably going to be the solution to that. The second one is more about lifestyle, because those signals from the brain aren't being sent. This comes back down to lifestyle. Things like stress, overweight, poor lifestyle, not sleeping right, medications that you could be on. There's loads of different reasons why that could be happening, but it's not a solution for TRT. If you take TRT, yes, that is going to boost your testosterone levels. The problem is once you start taking TRT, there is no going back. Once you start taking it, your body becomes reliant on it, and then your factory does stop producing natural testosterone because you're putting synthetic testosterone into your body. So the first step is always to firstly take a blood test. Now, what that blood test will tell you, the blood test will tell you if those signals from here to down there are low. If those signals are low, then that is a sign that is lifestyle, that you need to maybe work on the recovery, work on your sleep, work on losing some body fat, building some muscle, like all of these things that I talk about all of the time. But if those signals are high, then what's happening is those signals are being sent, but your factory just isn't responding. Then that is a case for maybe TRT. There's a guy who has a company who does sell TRT, and his tactics is very low ball. What he does is he basically body shames guys into going into his website and taking a blood test. His values within the company may be absolutely ethical. I have got no idea. He might go through all of his tests and do lifestyle strategies first. But when your face values are body shaming men into thinking about, oh, TRT is a solution, because that's what he talks about. The reason you're fat is because you're not taking TRT. If you haven't got a six-pack, you are not a man. You are useless. You are worthless. That's the kind of messages that he's sending. And it's crazy. It's nuts. And the problem is when you hear this marketing message, you immediately think, oh, TRT is the solution. So then you're not open to the solution probably isn't TRT, it is lifestyle. And that is really what we want to be changing. We want to be changing our lifestyle first and then using TRT as a last resort.